Thanks for watching. This is a quick look at how Google views and ranks your website in the search results. By understanding how the program works, you can use it to your advantage by getting it on the first page, so that way you're the first click and the first call whenever anybody's searching in your area. Now, I've got your site pulled up here, and it looks like the layout is really great. We've got all the information that people can easily get to. They can click the call right from the top. As far as Google is concerned, when it's going to rank a website, it's going to do so based on two factors. The first is the content. So it's going to come in and it's going to count all the words on the page. It's basically looking for a minimum of about 1,500 words because it assumes that the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you are and the more likely it is to recommend you. Now, while it's counting for words, it's also looking for keywords, which would be anything that somebody might type in a Google search, which is typically going to be a service that you offer and then an area that you offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page particularly comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of those keywords for every 150 words of text on the page. Now, the second way that Google is going to rank your website is based on its authority, which is basically a popularity contest. Now, there's two ways to build authority. The first is by getting what's called citations. Citations are any time that your name, address, and phone number are listed in an online directory. Those directories include Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. They're usually free. It just takes some time to find them all, register your business, and then input your information exactly as it's shown in Google. Now, the second way to build authority is through what's called backlinks. Now, that's when another website links or refers back to yours. And it acts like an endorsement for Google because it's building trust because others are vouching for you. You can kind of look at it similar to a customer review. If you had 1,000 five-star customer reviews, a new customer would think pretty highly of your business. Google's doing the same thing, it's just using other websites to make this judgment. Now, to see how this determines where your website ranks, if we go back to our search results, the first thing you see pop up is what's called the Google Map Pack. This is actually a pretty important area to try to get into because anywhere from 40 to 60% of people will just click on one of these top 3 listings. To get listed in here is free. You just need to fill out your Google Business profile, which is inside the Maps app, so you can do it right from a smartphone. When filling this out, you want to put as much information in there as possible, including the services that you offer, the area that you offer it in, even your hours of operation. Then you want to continuously add photos that are geotagged within your service area, as well as posts to your profile on a regular basis. Have customers leave reviews, and then you want to get as many of those citations as possible. Your name, address, and phone number, you want those listed in more directories than anybody else on this list. Then underneath that, this is what we call the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority or the more trust that Google has in your site, the higher up in the list that you're going to rank. Now, to demonstrate this, what I've done is taken your website and put it into this tool that I have, and it shows me all the things that Google finds when it crawls your site for both the content and the authority. Just to quickly define these terms, if the local news station did an article and it said the top 10 best home remodeling companies in Boston area, and in that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website. That would be considered one referring domain. So just to put this in some context, what I've done is just taken some of the top listings in both of these search results and put them into the same tool so you can see what kind of authority that their site is bringing and the reason why they're showing up at the top of the first page. Now, something to note here is it's not just a matter of the quantity of these links, it's the quality. So for instance, if we had Pizza Hut linking back to your site, Google understands that you are not in the business of making pizzas, so even though that would add a number, it wouldn't actually add any authority. What we would want to do is try to find any kind of blog posting or newspaper article or any kind of directory or citation site that has something to do with the home improvement, construction, remodeling type of field, so that way it's relevant to your business. Then, if we take a look at your content, these are all the keywords and phrases that are being typed into Google, and then you can also see the volume, the number of times per month they're being searched. So this is where we do some research to find all the highest volume keywords and make sure that those are being included on your site and picked up by Google. So for instance, roofing in Plymouth. This is being searched 200 times a month. Right now you're in the 36th position, which is going to put you halfway to three-quarters of the way down the fourth page of Google. Unfortunately, nobody's really going to find you down there. However, if you were on the first page, 200 people a month will be seeing your website. We usually use a pretty conservative estimation and say only 10% of those will actually turn into leads and contact you. I don't know what the conversion rate is for your business, but let's say even if only a quarter of those leads turn into customers, you'd be looking at 5 new customers per month just off this one keyword. And then we would repeat that process for all the highest volume keywords relative to your area and the services that you offer. Now, obviously, each job has a little bit of a different profit margin, but you can see how all those leads can add up to a lot of revenue at the end of the month and at the end of the year. Now, I hope this information was helpful and it allows you to scale some of your online presence. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like me to go into any further details. We could also talk about your goals, and I can do some research to find out what it would take for you to reach those. And I always appreciate getting feedback as well to find out if information like this is useful for you. So please let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I hope this helps.